Hey there, everybody. Welcome back. So in today's episode, we are getting really real, really raw, and we're going into a mini habit that I have found to be one of the most powerful mind, body, business, health, relationships, mini habit shifts that you can make in your life that truly just starts to ripple through everything else. And it comes from a deep, dark place that I've been, as well as doing 500 plus hypnotherapy sessions. I've learned that this is the number one issue that most people are struggling with when it comes to achieving their goals, getting the results that they want in their life. And I'm just excited to share this with you today. Today is Valentine's Day, so I just thought it was a perfect time to do this because personally, I've always hated Valentine's Day, but because of personal reasons. And I just thought this episode today could really help some people. So I'm really excited to do this and just make it, there's no fancy mics. I'm just doing this straight up today. So I am Matt Travis. I want to welcome you to the Entrepreneur Expansion, and I have been in the personal development, coaching world, health world, business world for almost 2 decades now. And what I've found is that a lot of people are struggling with this one thing, and this one thing is stopping them from getting what they want. And more importantly, some people, it's stopping them from living their best life. It's stopping them from actually having the feelings that they want to have. And, you know, I think of today personally, for probably since I met my wife in 2006, 2007, I always told her I don't celebrate Valentine's Day. I don't do this day. And specifically because it always kind of hurt me, and it brought up emotions and feelings around a friend who ended up taking their life on this particular day. And I always, I really didn't understand it, and I didn't understand all that. And in college, I did study and start to understand why people, why suicide happens and why that occurs. And there was a lot for me to work through with that, because I was almost blaming this day, because this day brings a lot of feelings out in people, whether you love this day or hate this day. It is just a day, and it's the unfortunate part is the meanings that we give this day. Like, we need to be with somebody that loves us, and there's a lot of things that there's a lot of beliefs and stories around this particular day that causes us to many times go down a rabbit hole. And especially I find when I was younger, it seemed like a really important day, and you had to go super big on this day. And then I saw the darker side of things, where this day can really make people feel really alone. It can make people feel really down and bring them into a dark place, like my friend. And then last year, what happened was my wife said something really powerful to me. She said, "Matt, one of your missions in life is to help people feel enough in their life, in whatever they do. And when you stay silent and you don't celebrate this day, or you don't actually speak out on this day, you're actually not helping the people that could really benefit from your help." And I was like, you're totally right. You're 100% right. And so now on this day each year, I decide to speak up and speak about these topics, because it does need to be talked about. Because not only does it cause a lot of harm and a lot of pain and suffering for people when they don't feel like they're enough, but it also creates a lot of, it really blocks their ability to get more of the things that they want in their life, to make it better. So what I am doing today is I'm going to show you just a little mini habit that I have done with all of my clients. Any client that's ever joined a workshop of mine, they know that this is one of the first things that I have everybody do, because it was so powerful for me when I did it. And so I want to share this mini habit with you today and show you how powerful it can be in helping you shift some of the inner subconscious stuff around enoughness. Now, first off, you might be like, Matt, what the hell is enoughness? Well, enoughness is something where there's a couple different, so this is something I've discovered and learned from doing so many deep subconscious sessions with people. So I've learned that it comes in different forms. So it's either self-love, self-worth. So it's either lack of self-love, self-worth on one side, or the other side, it's like capability and confidence. So enoughness around capability and enough confidence to achieve the thing that you want, or self-love and self-worth. And this is more about receiving. And so when I work with clients on this, there's a lot of times there's a lot of layers to this, because we need to understand how this actually happens. How do people feel not enough in their life? Because this was my biggest challenge for literally decades of my life. And it all started from when I was really young. So I had a lot of learning disabilities when I was really young, and it made me feel less than. I always thought I was different. It wasn't until I was like 35 and I did my own subconscious work that I said this out loud and I cried after I said it, but it was, I thought my brain was broken most of my life, because I was diagnosed with ADHD later, but I didn't know that early on in my life. I just thought I was different than everybody else. Everybody else, it was easy to, because perspective, especially when you're a little kid, is very different. So I thought that my brain was broken and that everybody else was smarter than me. And it made me get into this like needing to be better. So it developed this hyper achiever saboteur in my mind that I needed to work double time and I needed to do all of these things to be enough. And none of that's true. And so I'd say for a good 2 decades of my life, I was in what I would call prove it energy. So I was trying to prove that I was enough to everybody and everyone. And I was, like right out of high school, like my guidance counselor told me, you'll probably never get into college. And not a great thing to tell a kid. But because of my learning disabilities and my grades, it did make sense why he was saying that, but just not something that you should be saying to a child. And one of the things that I learned later on is to never accept a diagnosis that doesn't empower you. That's a big key. And so I decided, you know what? He can't tell me what I can and can't do. And then I ended up getting into college. And then ironically, my guidance counselor in college said the same thing. You'd be lucky to get into the major that I wanted to get into. I was majoring in physical education and health. And they were like, out of 100 people, we only take 16 people. And I was like, you can't tell me what I can't do. And so I worked really hard and I was able to get in. Then, of course, college starts to end and they're like, it's going to be tricky for you to get a job. It's something that not everybody gets right out of the gate. And then I ended up going and having an amazing interview at a school in my hometown that I actually went to when I was a kid. And I ended up getting that job right out of college. And so it was a lot of people, especially when I was younger, that were telling me that I couldn't do certain things, that I couldn't be certain things, that I wasn't good enough to do this stuff. And many of you might be experiencing that in your life. You may be experiencing these people telling you their own belief systems and their own belief structures, and it's leading you to believe that you can't or won't because you trust and your subconscious accepts what they say as true. And I'm here to tell you that none of it's true. The only thing that's true is what your subconscious believes to be true. So what I hope to do today with this mini habit is to help you start to reprogram it and repattern that so that you do feel the worthy enough, capable, and confident enough to go and do what you want with your life, and really just, if nothing else, just have a feeling inside, a focus and feeling that you are enough. That's the big goal today. And so what I want you to know is that a lot of this, like I said, it's subconscious programming when you're a child. The statistics on the positive comments to negative comments for kids is, for every one positive comment they get about 8 negative comments. And so you wonder why most people are walking around the planet not feeling enough, because when they're younger, there's just this programming that goes on and on and on. And I would say it is the biggest epidemic that we have, people feeling like they're not good enough. And then when I started to coach people, so I owned a fitness facility from 2010 to 2016, and I started coaching people, and I noticed that was the biggest reason why they either didn't focus on taking care of their fitness, or they didn't focus on their eating, because they didn't feel good enough to receive this for their body, to take care of themselves, really. And all of that's in their mind. It's all in the mind. And then when I started coaching people on gut health and mindset, I was like, this is the biggest thing. This is the thing. But I was always frustrated because I was like, I don't understand what it really is. My big thing was like, how do people get results and keep them? And how come some people just don't get results at all? And how come some people get results easily? And it all comes back to the subconscious programming. So I just decided in 2020 that I was going to get certified as a rapid transformation hypnotherapist. And I was like, you know what? I want to get into this thing that helps me understand what's going on inside of people's subconscious mind. And it opened up so many doors for me. It helped me understand so much about all of the moments and scenes that we have when we're younger, or even when we're older, and how they create such a ripple effect in every other area of your life. Like, so many people that I've worked with from 0 to 7, maybe 10 years old, a lot of the times we'll go back to those scenes, and it will be a scene of somebody in some way, shape, or form making them think and feel like they're not good enough. And it creates money issues later, it creates love issues later, it creates your ability to get the right career, the right, start your business. It just has such a massive, massive ripple effect that people they don't understand. Because I understand, because I didn't understand either. I didn't know what I didn't know. And now I feel like I've gone through this 2-decade-long journey to help people at the deepest level feel enough. And I think there's one step that everybody can take right now, that this was literally the first step I took on this journey, and it made such an impact. So I was running my fitness facility, and I was driving to my fitness facility, and this is how this habit took hold, just so you know. So I'm driving to my fitness facility, and I always listen to YouTube videos while I'm driving. I don't watch them, I listen to them. And I was playing a YouTube video from, this is probably circa 2013, 2014, I don't remember. And I was listening to this woman, Marissa Peer, who is an amazing therapist out of the UK. And she did a TED Talk all about the I am enough principle. And I remember listening to this and literally bawling my eyes out, because I could never put words to why my hyperachiever was so prevalent, like why I needed to prove myself. And so I went into the fitness facility, like after listening to this video, and I had all these whiteboards, and I just wiped them all off, and I just wrote, "You are enough," all over them. And people came in that day and they were like, "Are you okay?" And I just really wanted to spread that message that you are enough. And I think when I say it, it doesn't necessarily hit the subconscious that way. I know for me it did, but for a lot of people it doesn't, because once again, we have these subconscious programs. I call them like glasses, and you have these beliefs that block the enoughness from coming in. So I could be like, oh man, you look so great in that outfit today, and it hits the glasses and it bounces right off, bing, and it's like, oh, this old thing, no, I just got this at a thrift store, it's nothing, right? So they don't receive that love, and that, just like me giving them a compliment. So if you can't receive little compliments, there's very little chance that, unless we do the programming and the deeper work to shift the enoughness feeling, that it's actually gonna work. So that's why what I'm gonna show you is a habit that you just implement and do throughout your day. And it's something that I've done every day. And I actually set it up for my wife and my kids as well, because I want my kids to know that they are enough. And if you're watching this later in the future, I love you so much. And so this little mini habit changed my life. And this is what Marissa shared with me, and what I share now with all of the people to keep this movement going. It's just a very simple thing. On your bathroom mirror, you're going to write the words, I am enough. And you can do that in erasable marker. If you want to put it on a little sticky note, that's fine. I did it, I think, with some of my wife's lipstick, and then we eventually got a stencil. And I figure, while I'm here, I might as well just go show you. So we have this in our bathroom. And if you're listening to this on podcast, you can I'll put a picture in here. But on the mirror here, as you can see, it says, I am enough. And it might be backwards, I don't know. But it's a nice little stencil, so it looks nicer. And it's actually nice because it's at the right height for my kids. It's right in front of their face, so they're reading it their whole life. And they are able to see that. And so it's sinking into their subconscious that way. And I'm also able to see it every day, consciously or unconsciously. At this point, I don't really notice it much anymore. And it's just so important to continue to have that message. And especially in the first 30 days, just going in, and when you look at yourself, you read it and you say, I am enough. I am enough. And at the beginning, there's a good chance that your subconscious won't believe it and your mind won't believe it. So it's going to try to tell you that you're not. And it might call bullshit. It might say, no way. And that's why we continue this process, and we continue to go through it. And it's just the start of this. It's just the start of this journey. And that's why I want this. That's why I wanted to put this mini habit out there today, because it was the beginning of my journey, and it may be part of the beginning of your journey if you're listening to this. And my hope is that over 30 days, you start to feel differently, you start to act differently, and you start to, ultimately just feel like you can do what you want to do in your life, because you are enough, worthy enough to receive it, capable and confident enough to achieve it. Even if you don't feel it right now, it's 100% possible and 100% available to you. And I just want to send you love today, because you might be in a place right now where you don't feel that love and you don't feel like people care. And even if I don't know you, even if I've never met you, I just want you to know from the bottom of my heart that I am here for you. You can reach out, you can connect with me, you can send me a message. If you are in a dark place, if you're in a space right now where you just don't feel like it's possible to keep going, like it feels so hard and the weight is so much, and you feel like you're in cement boots and you feel like the world is crumbling around you. I know that feeling, folks. I know exactly what that feels like, and it is a dark place that you don't think you can climb out of. And I want to be the hand, and I'm reaching my hand out to you right now to let you know that if you ever need to chat, even if we are complete strangers, please send me a message. I'm one of those people that, like, I would rather you connect with me and message me and you be here tomorrow than not. And if you're a friend, of course, message me. If you're a stranger, message me. Connect with me, because this is my mission in life, is to help everyone feel like they're enough. And I currently work a lot with women, service-based business owners and entrepreneurs to help them with this process. And we do a lot of the mind-body business transformation stuff so that becomes embedded in their way of being. And this is for everybody, though. This message is for everybody today. And I want you to know that you are loved, you are amazing, you do matter, you do make a difference, you are more than enough, you always have been, and you most certainly always will be. And that is the truth about you. So I send this message out today, this message to the world, in hopes that it gets to the right people, and that the right people hear this message today, and just to give you some hope. And give this a try. If you do this and you want to take a picture and send it to me, I have an amazing collage that I've built with all of the people that have ever done this, and I can always add yours to the light to help people light up the darkness, just because they can see that you're part of this transitional ripple effect change. So I know this episode was a little bit longer than usual, but I appreciate you sticking around and listening. And if you decide you want to take this challenge and you want to do it in the community with us, by all means, jump into our community. It's free. And you just write the word committed. You can post a picture of your I am enough on your mirror. And then just every day that you do it, you can post done. Every day you look at it and recite it, you can post done. And I just reward that. Part of this show is it's all gamified. It's gamifying transformation through mini habits. So I want to have people actually be rewarded for showing up, taking action, and getting results, and in a fun way. And then I get to give back to them and reward them for doing awesome things. And so that's the whole vision and idea around this show. And I hope you stick around and join us for other episodes, because we're going to go through a lot of these things, and this was just the first layer. And so if you have more layers to work through, which we probably do, we're going to keep going down this, not just with me, but with other amazing experts that I bring on this show. So I hope you have a fantastic day. If you're listening to this on this day, I hope you have a fantastic day. And like always, you are enough. Keep showing up. Take an action, and you will get results. And if you need some support and you need help, please don't hesitate to reach out.